What if I told you that England is not actually a genuine contender to win the upcoming World Cup tournament? I know that sounds absolutely crazy, because before every major tournament, we are constantly fed the exact same narrative. We hear that England possesses world-class superstars in every position alongside some of the deepest squad depth in football. They command one of the most valuable team squads on the entire planet, and yet the story remains incomplete. When the knockout pressure becomes absolutely unbearable, something always seems to go horribly wrong for the Three Lions squad. Now, England is preparing to face a highly dangerous Croatia side in the group stage of the 2026 World Cup. And I believe this upcoming match is far more dangerous and volatile than most casual fans currently tend to realize. Croatia has built a legendary reputation for shattering tournament dreams. You can simply ask Brazil how their match ended, or you could ask Belgium. In fact, you can even ask England's own players about their painful past tournament experiences. Croatia genuinely does not care about how famous your superstar players are, or how much your squad is valued at. They do not care about what the bookmakers or betting odds say. They simply find unique ways to survive matches, and that gritty resilience is exactly why England should be deeply worried about this critical group stage matchup today. Let us be completely honest here. England's biggest historical weakness has never actually been their overall technical talent level. It has always been their collective mentality. This English side can easily dominate possession and control game tempos effortlessly. But when national expectations skyrocket, they often become overly cautious and play like they are completely afraid to lose. And that psychological vulnerability is precisely where Croatia becomes incredibly dangerous. Because Croatia absolutely thrives in chaotic situations. They love slowing the game down, frustrating their opponents, and dragging favorites into highly uncomfortable and physical battles. The longer the match scoreline stays close, the more the psychological pressure shifts heavily back onto the English players. Here is the controversial take. Croatia's deep tournament experience is actually far more valuable than England's raw star power. Many passionate fans will strongly disagree with this assertion, but we must look closely at the historical tournament evidence. Croatia defying the odds to reach the World Cup final in 2018, and then securing a third-place finish in 2022. Year after year, they consistently outperform all expectations. Meanwhile, England continues to be labeled as a perennial favorite without actually lifting the biggest international trophy in football. That is not hate, that is just historical reality talking. Now, do not get me wrong. England absolutely possesses the raw talent to completely destroy Croatia on a good day. Superstars like Harry Kane can change a match in seconds, while Bukayo Saka remains a terrifying threat on the wing. Meanwhile, Jude Bellingham plays with the maturity of a veteran and looks destined to become a future Ballon d'Or winner. So when you look at it strictly on paper, England should easily dominate and secure a comfortable victory here. But as every true fan knows, football matches are never played on paper, and reputations mean absolutely nothing at kickoff. If the sport were decided by squad value alone, legendary teams like Brazil would simply never lose a game. Reigning champions like Argentina would never taste defeat, and the magic of the underdogs would cease to exist entirely. That unpredictable nature is precisely what makes the World Cup the most watched and special sporting event on Earth. All it takes is one single mistake, a moment of hesitation, to completely ruin years of careful preparation. A single red card can completely turn the tide, forcing a favorite to defend for their lives in panic, or a single moment of individual brilliance can bypass even the most expensive and highly organized defensive lines. In an instant, everything changes, turning confident favorites into desperate teams fighting against a ticking stadium clock. And that is exactly why England versus Croatia could easily become the absolute biggest story of the group stage. Because if Croatia manages to secure a positive result, the fragile narrative surrounding England's dominance collapses instantly. Suddenly, the media and the public will start asking the tough, uncomfortable questions they have avoided for years. Were these English stars completely overrated? And are they truly mentally strong enough to handle extreme tournament pressure? Can this squad actually win a World Cup? Or are they destined to repeat the failures of the past? And if England actually loses this match, football social media will explode with intense mockery and endless debates. The media criticism will be absolutely brutal, and the pressure on the manager will become instantly unbearable. Every single decision will be microscopically analyzed as the nation demands answers for another tactical failure on stage. But what if England wins convincingly, showcasing their world-class talent and silencing all of their persistent doubters? Then perhaps we can finally believe that this specific generation is truly different from the ones before it. Maybe this is finally the group of players that will live up to the massive hype and expectation. So here is my prediction: this high-stakes match will be much closer than most mainstream pundits expect. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if Croatia walks away with at least a hard-earned point. I know some England fans are going to absolutely hate that take, but that is the beautiful game. What do you think? Is England a genuine favorite, or is Croatia about to expose them yet again? Them once again on the world's biggest stage, exposing the structural cracks in this highly rated squad. To understand why this matchup is so dangerous, we have to look back at the tactical battleground in midfield. Croatia relies on a legendary, battle-hardened engine room led by the timeless Luka Modric, who dictates the game's tempo. England must counter this with Jude Bellingham's energy and Declan Rice's defensive positioning to disrupt Croatia's passing rhythm. But history shows that England struggles when opponents starve them of possession and force them to chase the ball. We saw this in the 2018 World Cup semi-final, when Croatia slowly suffocated England's early momentum win. That night in Moscow exposed a fundamental truth: English talent can collapse when our opponent refuses to back down. Fast forward to today, and Croatia still possesses that same psychological edge, playing with absolute tactical discipline and grit. On the other hand, England carries the heavy burden of expectation, magnified by a relentless media and demanding fans. This pressure creates a fear of failure, forcing players into safe passes rather than taking risks when it matters. If Harry Kane is isolated up front, England's attacking threat vanishes, playing right into Croatia's defensive game plan. Jovic Gvardiol will be waiting to shut down the spaces, challenging Bukayo Saka and Phil Foden on the wings. Every second the score remains level, the mental pressure on England grows, while Croatia grows more comfortable. It's a classic football trap, the giant trying to break down a wall, while risking a devastating counter-attack. So, will England finally break their curse, or will they fall victim to the ultimate tournament specialists once again? The answer will define their entire World Cup campaign and determine the future of this highly praised generation. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Do you see an upset or a dominant England victory? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dive match previews and controversial football debates this season. We will be covering every major storyline of World Cup 2026, so stay tuned and enjoy the beautiful game.